Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window and a beautiful shot from earlier this afternoon. A mixture of everything in our late fall weather picture today as we look down. Beautiful 4K shot at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up in Wenatchee Heights. You can see a little bit of blue skies, some high thin clouds and some darker clouds along the Cascades. But all in all, it was a nice warm day today, and that will continue for at least another day or so. But the question everybody's asking, will we have a white Christmas? And this is historically how it's shaped up across Washington state. You can see the percentages at the bottom of that graphic of our percent of chance to have a white Christmas here in Wenatchee. We're at about the 70% chance range that we will have a white Christmas here this year, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The forecast has a lot of rain in it with just a little bit of snow, but will it be enough to bring us a white Christmas? We'll talk much more about that coming up later in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A hearing examiner has approved the controversial Black Rock Terrace housing development in the Wenatchee foothills. Moses Lake Police are asking for your help tonight in finding a wanted felon. And residents in Washington's Kitsap Peninsula are assessing damage and cleaning up tonight after a rare tornado touched down yesterday afternoon. But first, we begin tonight. The residents of the Plain area who complained about the smell of a large marijuana farm in their area may be breathing a little bit easier tonight after hearing that the state has intervened to stop the operation. Ncwlife's Steve Hare reports.
The regional enforcement officer of the Washington Liquor and Cannabis Control Board said there will be no resumption of marijuana growing operations or processing of marijuana at the controversial Alto Buddha farm site on Beaver Valley Road. Officer Steve Moorhead has been in communication with the license holder, who says their intention is to transfer the license to a site near Pullman. Moorhead acknowledged that his agency in Olympia has heard loud and clear from area residents on that issue. Alto Buddha was identified as a nuisance by neighboring property owners, became a prime target of anti-pot advocates during that period 2 years ago when Chelan County commissioners were drafting new zoning policies for recreational pot farms. Now that farm has not been in operation since November of 2016. Steve Hare, Ncwlife News.
A hearing examiner has approved the controversial Black Rock Terrace housing development in the Wenatchee foothills. Attorney Andy Kottkamp, the city's hearing examiner, submitted his approval of the subdivision to the city on Friday. Steve and Tanya Tramp, the owners of the property, are proposing a development that would result in 17 homes on 13 acres of sloping property in the 17,000 block of Skyline Drive. Opponents have packed public meetings on the proposal, saying further development in the foothills is a wildfire danger and threatens mule deer populations, among other concerns. Kottkamp said in a November hearing his ruling would be based solely on whether the proposed subdivision met city requirements for development. Opponents still could appeal Kottkamp's ruling in Superior Court, but must do so by January 4th. Suzanne Hartman, one of about 20 homeowners who have united to fight the subdivision, said they'll meet soon to decide what to do next. Steve Tramp said at a hearing in November they hoped to get started on the development this spring. Moses Lake Police are asking for your help tonight in finding a wanted felon. A warrant was issued Monday for 19-year-old David A. Mabey, charged with felony eluding and driving while his license was suspended, first degree. An officer attempted to stop Mabey early in the morning on December 9th for reportedly driving without headlights on. That was on North Stratford Road. Mabey reportedly continued into the Taco Bell parking lot and drive-through despite officers' use of lights and sirens. That according to Moses Lake Police. Mabey allegedly exited the drive-through, going over the curb, onto the grass, and across a sidewalk before turning south on North Stratford Road. Police say Mabey was driving at a high rate of speed and reportedly ran a red light at the intersection of West Broadway Avenue. He also reportedly ran 2 stop signs on Alder Street before police terminated the pursuit due to safety concerns and snow on the road. Anyone with information on Mabey's whereabouts is asked to call 509-762-1160. Well, residents in Washington's Kitsap Peninsula are assessing damage and cleaning up tonight after a rare tornado touched down around 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Some 50 buildings were affected by the twister and about 20 homes were evacuated because of a gas leak. There were also several downed power lines along the storm's path. The tornado traveled northeast after touching down near a Walmart in Port Orchard, leaving authorities scrambling to evacuate people and make sure everyone was safe. The sheriff's office described the damage as catastrophic. Tornadoes are a relatively rare event in the Pacific Northwest. From 1950 to 2018, 123 tornado events were reported in the state, primarily in central and eastern Washington. Well, coming up next, Samaritan Hospital commissioners have given the green light to $6.9 million being spent next year to remodel the Moses Lake Clinic. Over 220,000 Washington residents have signed up for a 2019 health plan through Washington Health Pathfinder. And how will an agreement reached yesterday to change how water is spilled at Columbia and Lower Snake River dams affect us in north central Washington? I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the Ncwlife Evening News.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Hey everyone, so today I'm tackling medical assistant ninja, trying to get that next level career. Man, this dead-end job is holding me back. Decision time, I'm going Charter College. Now I'm a medical assistant student. Rocking it! Yeah, earned the President's Award. Score! Took my career to the next level. Hey, I can level up to medical assistant ninja, so can you. Get on it.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving north central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back. In another news, Samaritan Healthcare is expanding in 2019. The Columbia Basin Herald reports hospital commissioners have given the green light to $6.9 million being spent next year to remodel the Moses Lake Clinic. Hospital officials say the project is required to make room for additional medical staff and physicians who will be coming on board next year. The first two phases of the project will be paid for out of the amount approved this week by commissioners. A third phase is slated to start in 2020. Officials say the expansion will include 33 new exam rooms. The newspaper reports commissioners and district officials have been talking about upgrades and remodeling for more than a year. Over 220,000 Washington residents signed up for a 2019 health plan through Washington Health Plan Finder, the state's online health insurance marketplace, by last Saturday's midnight deadline to enroll. The total number of plan selections is only slightly lower than the 242,000 sign-ups posted during the 2018 open enrollment period that stretched 1 month longer. The final 2 days of the 6-week open enrollment period saw more than 11,000 Washingtonians sign up for coverage before the December 15th cutoff. Several hundred more plan selections are expected to arrive as customers who started the application process before close of open enrollment finalize their applications for 2019 coverage. The exchange has also experienced a 20% increase in the number of current customers renewing their coverage. In light of the extraordinary demand leading into the deadline, the exchange is providing any customers who may have encountered difficulties while signing up until tomorrow, December 20th, to finalize their health and dental plan selections for next year. Well, an agreement reached yesterday to change how water is spilled at Columbia and Lower Snake River dams does not affect the dams operated by the Chelan County PUD. The agreement to increase spills is designed to boost survival rates of young salmon and was filed in U.S. District Court in Portland. Chelan PUD spokesperson Kimberly Craig said the PUD already has its own habitat conservation plans that aim to eliminate any impact on passing fish. Included in that is a juvenile fish bypass at Rocky Reach Dam that carries young salmon and steelhead past the dam. U.S. Representatives Dan Newhouse and Kathy McMorris Rogers have been highly critical of that new agreement. You're watching the Ncwlife Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the Ncwlife Evening News. Stay with us.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Welcome back to the Ncwlife Evening News. In tonight's feature story, former Washington Secretary of State Ralph Monroe tells us the story of the beach glass mosaic at Olympic College in Bremerton. It's one of his favorite places.
It's hard to believe that up until about 1955, most places around Puget Sound didn't have any garbage service. And a lot of people either burned their garbage in the backyard or tossed it all in the bay. There wasn't much plastic in those days, so mostly what you threw out tossed in the bay would decompose, the seagulls would eat it, the glass would get ground up on the beach, and the tin cans would rust away. But the glass on the beach became a subject of quite a bit of interest. Over at Olympic College in Bremerton, where my brother started as an art student, Professor Mr. Blast decided to make a huge mural out of beach glass. These bottles, when they were tossed on the beach, then broke up, and there was green glass, and there was red glass, and white glass, and so forth. And we would pick up these pieces of glass. All summer long, we filled buckets, and they created this incredible mural. And it lives on today. You know, it was built up against the Math and Science building. They thought they were going to have to destroy it when they tore down the building, but some local folks rescued it, and now it's back and looks just beautiful on the campus. And if you haven't seen it, you should go see it, because it tells more than one story. It tells the story of mankind in his version, but it also tells the story of us. The fact that we used to just pollute Puget Sound with garbage and lots of bottles and cans and glass. Not anymore. And how it could be used creatively even in the 1950s. This truly is an incredible spot and one of my favorite places.
Support for My Favorite Places is provided by the Washington Hospitality Association and by Weatherly Inn, senior living where it's home and your family.
And time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Before we get into all those details, and everyone's wondering, what is it going to be like this weekend? Many of you will be traveling, of course, Christmas Eve on Monday and Christmas on Tuesday. We'll get to those details in a second, but look at this beautiful shot from this afternoon from our very high resolution 4K camera up on Wenatchee Heights around the cross in that area. See the Cascades in the background, a little bit of blue sky throughout the day today. We did have quite a bit of sunshine this morning, and that allowed our temperatures to warm up, but just a beautiful shot of the Wenatchee Valley and the Columbia River. High temperatures today, and before we get to that, let's bring up the almanac. Yesterday, we climbed to 51 degrees, which was only 1 degree shy of a record high temperature. Today, we came awfully close too. 49 was our record for this date. We topped off at least 46. That may tick up a degree or two before we meet again tomorrow night. 37 was our overnight low, and those temperatures well above where we should be for this time of year. In fact, 15 degrees warmer for our high and 14 degrees warmer for our low temperature. Our record high, 49, as I mentioned, back in 2004. And boy, 1984 and 1985 were some cold years. Here's our record, 4 below, back in 1984. 2/100ths of an inch of moisture the past 24 hours, and that gets us to 6.81 inches for the year. Sunrise was at 7:44 this morning, and the sunset this afternoon at 4:12. We do have a storm system moving in on us. We're seeing increasing clouds right now, and as we take a look at our surface loop by 11 o'clock tonight, here's the storm maker right here, winding itself up off the coast of Washington and Oregon. That will bring us about a 60% chance of some rain showers. And look how tightly packed these isobars are. That is very windy conditions, and we will continue to see that as it moves through the northwest part of Washington. Thursday at noon, still a 60% chance of rain showers. Winds will pick up throughout the afternoon tomorrow as well, and we could see winds 10 to 20 miles an hour at times here in Wenatchee. And then a bit of a break as we move into the end of the week on Friday, 3 o'clock, mostly sunny, but we will see more of a northwest flow influence in our weather, and that will cool us down, bringing about a 40% chance. I even capitalized it here for Saturday at 5 p.m. Snow, and that may be our best snow, our best shot for a white Christmas as we move through Monday and into Christmas Day on Tuesday. But Sunday looks like a wet one too, around 3 o'clock on Sunday. A mix of rain and snow showers right here in north central Washington. We'll see a 60% chance of that. As we move into your Christmas Eve day, it'll be a wet one too. 60% chance of a rain-snow mix. And notice the golds and greens. That is heavy, heavy rainfall. This is a very wet system as it continues to move through. So we could see a decent amount of rain, and most of folks are hoping for some snow. It is Christmas Eve after all. But moving on past that into Christmas Day, it looks like just partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 30s. Let's take a look at your quick lube and tune forecast. Low temperature tonight, still on the mild side at 34 degrees, and we will get wet. Remember tonight, 60% chance of rain showers. That will move into tomorrow too, another 60% chance of rain. Windy conditions in the afternoon. We touched on that, 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts around 26 miles an hour here in Wenatchee. As we see a cool down too, 43 degrees on Thursday, even cooler on Friday at around 39 degrees. But won't it be nice? A little bit of sunshine by the end of the week before we cloud up again on Saturday, a 40% chance for all snow. I really believe that on Saturday afternoon as we move into Saturday night, and then a rain-snow mix for Sunday, a 60% chance and 37. Same goes for Monday. On your Christmas Eve, cloudy, a 60% chance for a rain-snow mix and 38. And for Christmas Day on Tuesday, partly cloudy and mild. So if you are traveling, not bad. High temperature on Christmas, 38 with a low of 29. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the Ncwlife Evening News continues right after this.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including Ncwlife, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
And now it's a sports update on the Ncwlife channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. The Eastmont bowling team had high hopes to pick up a win over rival Eisenhower at Eastmont Lanes yesterday. Coach Christy Bingy says her girls were up for the challenge, but Ike just a touch better, topping the Wildcats 3-1 by just a total pin count of 30 points. High scores for Eastmont were Samantha Hines with a 222, Alicia Hastings with a 192. Just a few lanes down from Eastmont, the Wenatchee Panthers shut down Davis 4-zip with a total pin count of 2,088 to 1,744. High scores for Wenatchee, Jessica Holbrook with a 194, Kyla Hankins a 188, and Hannah Johnson with a 183. Ladies will have some time off for the holidays and get back at it come the new year. On the Les Schwab Prep girls basketball scoreboard from last night, the game featured here on the Ncwlife channel saw Pasco erase an early deficit and defeat Eastmont 66-46 at Eastmont High School. The Wildcats posted an early 5-0 lead, led 6-3 when Pasco went on a 15-0 run to end the first quarter. Eastmont closed it within 3 in the second quarter, but the Bulldogs made another 11-0 run, led it by 12 at halftime, went on for the 20-point win. Grant Olson had the call right here on the Ncwlife channel.
Left side, move to the left side. Pasco starting out a man-to-man defense. Here's Cox now, top of the key, open. She's going to take it. It's good. Guarded there by Maylee Martinez. Nice pass down low. Jaden Brown up and in. Beautiful feed down low by Caitlin Cox, and great assist. 5-0 Eastmont early lead. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Out front, it's Maylee Martinez for 3. Good. Nice defense by Maylee Martinez on Cox. She does finally get it to Heimberger. Then it's stolen away by Anaya Heavens, the freshman. Layup other way. Good.
And it was all Pasco from there. Also last night, Wenatchee fell on the road at Hanford 56-46. Meanwhile, Kashmir cruised to a 71-24 win over Cascade to remain undefeated at 7-0. Oroville edged Manson in a low-scoring affair 35-25, and Waterville Mansfield girls picked up a 57-41 win at home against Tonasket. Turning to the Les Schwab Prep boys basketball scoreboard, despite trailing most of the second and third quarters, Eastmont was able to reel in Pasco for an 81-65 victory. Isaac Wellborn led the way for the Wildcats with 28 points, while Trey Haberlock chipped in 21. Grant Olson again on the call here on the Ncwlife channel.
In the hands of Lagarde and stolen away by Calvillo. Layup underneath Tanner Nelson. Good. Far wing to Wellborn. Now at the free throw line, Nelson jump shot. Good. Here's Nelson with it. Did not hand it off. Instead, Wellborn, baseline pass. Wellborn for 3 is good. Far side, Wellborn, left open from 20, good. Inbounds, it's Wellborn now for Eastmont to Haberlock, baseline shot for 3, good. Back out, Haberlock, 9 on the shot clock. Nice spin move, Haberlock in the lane, good. Now it's Diego Gutierrez, he hardly misses, does this time though, off the back of the rim, no good. Eastmont has a chance to get a shot off here. 4 seconds, here's Nelson with 2 seconds left, up 3, good! Tanner Nelson at the buzzer, and that does it for our third quarter. Biggest lead of the night for Eastmont or any team at 12, and now a turnover. Back the other way, Wellborn all by himself. Two-handed jam, good! Eastmont, 3 seconds, 2-1, and that's going to do it here at Eastmont High School. Our final score, Eastmont 81 and Pasco 65.
So it was a good night for the Wildcats, also a good night for the Wenatchee Panthers, who earned a 1-point road win at Hanford, 58-57. Cashmere continued its winning ways over with an 89-56 win over Cascade. Despite Quinn Stamp's 21 points and Chelan overcoming a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter, they forced overtime, but the Mountain Goats fell to Omak 72-66. It was Tedesca topping Waterville-Mansfield 64-43. The Wenatchee Wild will try to make it 10 wins in a row tonight, and BCHL play with the road game at Cominco Arena against the Trail Smoke Eaters. In fact, last time the Wild lost was November 16th at Trail. Since then, they've mustered a 9-game winning streak and wrestled first place away from Penticton in the Interior Division. Wenatchee's 13-2 since the 1st of November, 22-10-2 on the season. The Wild have 46 points, which is third best in the entire league, behind Prince George and Chilliwack. After tonight, the Wild will be home for 2 games, Friday and Saturday, against Vernon. Well, 2 Seahawks were selected to the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl today. Bobby Wagner is a returner at linebacker, while rookie punter Michael Dixon was chosen for his first Pro Bowl. This will be Wagner's 5th time to the Pro Bowl in 7 seasons after being drafted by Seattle in the 2nd round back in 2012 from Utah State. He's currently 8th in the NFL with 114 combined tackles. Dixon, who didn't kick in American football until 2015 after being born and raised in Australia, leads the NFL gross average at 48.9 yards per punt and a net average at 44.2. Dixon is the first rookie punter selected to the Pro Bowl since Dale Hunter of the Rams back in 1985. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLife channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And recapping tonight's top story, a hearing examiner has approved the controversial Black Rock Terrace housing development in the Wenatchee foothills. Attorney Andy Kotkamp, the city's hearing examiner, submitted his approval of the subdivision to the city on Friday. Steve and Tanya Tramp, the owners of the property, are proposing a development that will result in 17 homes on 13 acres of sloping property in the 17,000 block of Skyline Drive. Opponents have packed public meetings on the proposal, saying further development in the foothills is a wildfire danger and threatens mule deer populations, among other concerns. Kotkamp said at a November hearing his ruling would be based solely on whether the proposed subdivision met city requirements for development. Opponents still could appeal Kotkamp's ruling in Superior Court, but must do so by January 4th. Suzanne Hartman, one of about 20 homeowners who have united to fight the subdivision, said they will meet soon to decide what to do next. Steve Tramp said at a hearing in November they hope to get the project started on the development this spring. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
NCW Life Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.
I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Those actresses from the 70s that I had a huge crush on. Lindsay Wagner, Jane Russell, Meryl Streep, Barbara Bush. Wanted to wish her a happy birthday. It gave me an excuse to throw her picture up on my show. Exclusive distributors of Life Water. Now available in the shatterproof plastic bottle.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCW Life channel.